Welcome to my channel Chemistry Class. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Chemistry Class. My dear student, today we are going to start a very exciting and fundamental chapter of ninth class chemistry, which is chapter number 2, structure of atoms. My dear student, for many centuries, scientists wondered what is matter made of, as they are smallest particle that cannot be divided further. In this chapter, we will delve into these interesting questions. Now let we study historical background. My dear student, in ancient times, Greek philosopher Democritus was the first to suggest that matter is made up of tiny particles called atoms. He said that these particles are indivisible and indestructible, but that was just a philosophical idea, not scientific. Now, dear student, after many centuries, scientific experiments are started. Scientific experiment started in the 18th and 19th centuries, and our understanding of atoms became clear. Now we study the concept of atom in different periods. We will explore how the idea of the atom changed and evolved over time from ancient philosophy to modern science. Now, the first one is ancient concept of atom or Greek periods. Let's first go back to ancient Greece around 400 BC. A philosopher named Democritus gave the first idea of the atoms. Democritus, what is student? He proposed that matter is made up of tiny indivisible particles called atoms, meaning uncuttable. He said atoms are indivisible, indestructible, solid, and eternal. But in student, there were no experiments. It was only based on thinking and reasoning. This was the first concept of the atoms, but it was ignored by many scholars, especially by Aristotle, who believed matter as continuous and can be divided endlessly. Also, not my dear student, at this time there was no scientific method or experiments, so this idea remained just this idea remained just philosophical. Now, the second concept, which is Dalton's atomic theory, in 1803 AD. My dear student, after a long period in the early 19th century, the concept of atoms came back into scientific discussion. Now, John Dalton, my dear student, is an English school teacher and a scientist. He presented Dalton's atomic theory in 1803. Now, the key points of Dalton atomic theory. The first one is all matter is made up of tiny indivisible particles called atoms. The second one is atoms of the same elements are identical in mass and properties. Third one is atoms cannot be created, divided, or destroyed. The fourth one is atoms combine in simple whole number ratios to form compounds. The fifth one, and chemical ratios, atoms are rearranged, not changed out. Now, importance of Dalton theory. My dear student, Dalton theory was based on scientific experiments and observation, which made it the first scientific atomic theory. Now we study modern concept of atoms as simply discovery of subatomic particles. My dear student, as science progressed, scientists discovered that atom is not indivisible, and his subatomic particles like electrons, proton, and neutrons. Now, discovery of electrons and 1897 by J.J. Thomson, he discovered electrons, a negatively charged particle inside the atoms, proposed plum pudding model atom as a positively charged sphere with electrons embedded like raisins and pudding. And the second one is discovery of protons in 1911. Rutherford's, he discovered protons, a positively charged particle, and the nucleus. He proposed the nuclear model of atom. Atom has a dense central nucleus containing protons, and the electrons revolve around it. And the third one is discovery of neutrons in 1932 by James Chadwick. But dear student, it is called neutrons, a neutral particle inside the nucleus, explain the mass of the atom. The mass of atoms. Now, Bohr models in 1913's indigo horse that electrons revolve in fixed orbits shell around the nucleus, explain stability of atom and energy levels. Modern atomic theory that atoms is made up of electrons, protons, and neutrons. Protons and neutrons are present in the nucleus, while electrons revolve around the nucleus and energy levels are shells. Electron clouds model and quantum mechanics explain the behavior of electrons and details the behavior of electrons and detail. So, my dear student, this is how the concept of atom evolved from a philosophical idea to a well-established scientific model. My dear student, this chapter will open the door of understanding into macroscopic world of atoms, where the rules of chemistry and physics work differently. My dear student, this is all about today's lectures. If this lectures help you, then don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channels and press the bell icons and also share it with your friends and comments your questions below. Take care and see you in the next class. Thank you for listening.